Okay, thank you. We're running a little bit late. I'm sorry about that. We were in executive session. Joe, you want to announce we were in executive session?
Yes, the council met in executive session immediately prior to this evening's meeting for approximately 45 minutes. Present for the executive session were the 5 members of council, the mayor, the township engineer, and me. Discussed were 2 matters of potential litigation. Neither matter will result in any, no official action was taken during the executive session in regard to either action, and no official action will be required this evening as a result of that executive session.
Okay. So we've been here working since 6 o'clock, so you think we weren't laxing back there. But anyway, we're going to open up the meeting with a moment of silence, meditation, and prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
That's a prayer.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first on the, is public comment on any agenda items. Yeah, I'm going to do that, sorry. And we have an opportunity of as each item comes up to have public comment. Joe, do we have any changes to the agenda? I think that we do have a couple major things that are all here.
We do. Changes in the sense that there are 2 items on this evening's agenda that the council will not be proceeding with. The first would be item number 9, which is a minor preliminary subdivision for Robert Suita. Mr. Suita was here previously for this hearing. It was at that time tabled to a date certain of this evening. In the intervening period of time, we've received correspondence from council, from the engineer for Mr. Suita, saying that they need additional time to make further revisions to the plan, consistent with the comments from the township engineer, and they've asked that the matter be tabled to the next council agenda. Based on the amount of time they need, I would recommend probably your first meeting in August.
Okay, so the first meeting in August I have is August 8th. Does somebody want to make a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any against? Okay. So let's move to the 8th. And number 10, Joe, I think also?
Number 10 is application for preliminary land development for Johnson Development. Again, this is a matter that was on a prior agenda, was tabled to a date certain of this evening. At the request of the applicant, they're asking that the matter be further continued also to the council's first meeting in August.
Okay, so is there a motion to move this to August 8th?
So moved.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any against? Okay.
Those are the only changes of which I'm aware, Mr. Knowles.
Thank you. Okay, number 3 on the agenda is approval of council minutes for the meeting date June 13th, 2022. I didn't see anything. Is there any changes that someone sees?
Yeah, I do have a question.
Okay.
And on page 4 of 9, section number 8, it reads that the police officers will be contributing more to the pension this year in conjunction with receiving the reduction retirement benefits. I think it should be read something, reduction of the years, reduction by 3 years from age 55 to 52. I think that was the intention. John, is that right?
That's correct.
All right, that's how I believe it should be written in the minutes.
Okay, so you'll change that, Deb? Okay.
Okay.
You're really quick. Okay. Is there any other changes?
That's it. I put the motion on the floor. We accepted that with the changes, with the one change.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, any against? Okay, good. Okay, number 4 on the agenda, council's considerations of mayor's recommendation to the Drug and Alcohol Advisory Board. Mr. Mayor, do you have,
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Mary Ann Griffin, I believe she's here tonight. Mary Ann is here.
Okay, I don't think we have a judge here, though, but we'll have to. Mary Ann's here, okay. Is there any questions of anybody
You
to
can
have?
swear her in, you're the president.
To have Mary Ann Griffin? I think someone resigned and moved out of the area.
I thought you were already on the board. You were there?
No.
I know.
She's on everything,
that
she's on
board,
everything
she's on other
else.
boards.
She's on everything else.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion, we approve as presented.
Okay, there's a motion to accept Mary Ann Griffin on the Drug and Alcohol Advisory Board. Is there a
I'll
second?
second the motion.
Okay, Mr. Kisselback got it, I'm sorry. Okay, all in favor, well, I'm sorry for her, I'm not sorry for you. Okay,
He might be sorry for you too, but
all in favor? Aye. Any against? Okay, congratulations, Mary Ann.
The reason I say that because at the drug, DARE programs, you were there already participating throughout the summer months, so I thought you were already on the board.
I was a guest.
Yes,
Yeah,
you were
a
a
guest.
guest, okay, well,
She also serves us with B3T and is very involved in this. So thank
Yes.
you, Mary Ann, for continuing to step up and help us serve.
And she also runs the American Cancer Society's benefit. Thank you, Mary Ann, for all your help and volunteerism in our community. Okay,
Discussion about the year.
number five, consideration to reapprove the 2020 Community Development Block Grant Program. Do you have this, Mr.
Yeah, you
Pfizer?
have it in front of you, don't you?
Yep,
And you will see that result, we have to amend it. And if you look at there, you'll see what the amendments are on page 3. And it's no changes for us, it's just an increase in cost, but the same amount of money is being distributed, so.
I thought we already,
The one thing was, last meeting, the advertising requirements hadn't expired yet, so they've now expired, so we just have to reapprove it. It's the same amendment that we did last month, it's just the advertising hadn't finalized yet, so that's what the difference is this time as well.
okay, and then this is, the more money's going to the handicap curbing? or-
Correct, the handicap ramps. Same as before, no different in what we're doing, other than we had approved it prior to the advertisement running out.
Okay. All right, is there any other questions for John about this? Okay, seems pretty clear cut. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
Okay,
Everybody else else.
okay. Ms. Champion has made the motion, is there a second?
Second?
Second, okay. Michelle has the second, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, any against? Okay, thank you. Okay, number 7 on the agenda is consideration of public hearing the ordinance of amending and modifying the defined benefits pension plan and trust for non-uniform employees of the Township of Bensalem.
Yeah, you skipped over 6.
Oh, 6, I'm sorry.
That was the firefighters' field,
Oh, okay, you're right, I'm sorry.
responders' field.
Sorry, thank you. Number 6, consideration of resolution authorizing approving the submission and filing of a grant application to Pennsylvania Commonwealth Finance Authority to be used for the planning, engineering, and construction of first responders field.
Yeah, so there was a May 31st deadline to submit to the Greenways Trails for a grant for up to $250,000 that we are allocating towards the first responders field. The championship field there, we're looking to make some upgrades to the field and possibly add a turf field if we can get enough grant awards for it. So this would just be the final step that the state requires as a resolution allowing the township to sign off the appropriate signers for the grant itself.
Okay, so this just means we don't know that we're getting it.
Correct. We won't know till the winter time.
Just the authority to apply for it. Okay?
No, it's a grass field right now. Yes.
I know we approved the stadium seats and everything like that, but I just assumed it was,
Correct. Yeah, the stadium
Okay.
seats are almost all completed, but it's still a grass field. Ultimately, we'd like to turn it into a turf field, but money is what's needed.
and hopefully the rest of the complex to a full turf, not
Correct.
just the main field.
Correct.
I have one question.
Yes.
So will it only be soccer for turf field, or would it be, say, for field hockey, for turf field?
I don't know the answer to that question, but I know that in our conversations with the the people that design the turfs, they said you can have multiple layouts within the turf field. So there could be an option for field hockey or lacrosse or something like that built into the striping of the turf field.
If we're able to do top half, do the whole complex, the top half would be field hockey, it would be lacrosse, could be all the other sports. I don't know that there's enough room on the main field to do all the other sports. Up at Conway, they have one big gigantic thing, and they do all the sports on there. So we'd have to get the designs and figure out what's best at that point for that, but it can be designed for all the different sports.
Yeah, I was just wondering if we're going to be able to do that for,
Yeah.
both for our own residents and then also to maybe at times bring some tournaments in
Sure.
once a month or, not all the time because it's for the kids.
Yes.
Okay, but as of now, they're still working on the fields and stuff,
Yes.
right? Yeah, right, okay. Okay, so is there any other, there's no other questions? Is there a motion to allow him to apply for this grant?
So moved.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any against? Okay. All right, number 7 on the agenda, consideration of public hearing ordinance amending and modifying the defined benefit pension plan and trust for non-uniform employees of the Township of Bensalem.
Yeah, so there's
Okay.
two changes that are being modified in the non-uniform plan. One is to clear up some confusing language within the plan document itself in regards to a spousal death benefit. So currently, there's two sections that kind of counter-talk one another. Ultimately, what the updated change will be is that if an existing employee passes away prior to them actually retiring, the spouse would be entitled to a spousal benefit that is allowed within the pension ordinance upon the point in which that member would have turned 60 years old. So right now, there's a contradicting language in there that if a employee had passed away, then the spouse would be entitled to a refund of the member's contribution. So with this change, it still allows a benefit for the spouse upon an untimely death of an employee that's still working for the township prior to retirement. That's the first change. Second change is within the management section of the pension plan, there's a reduction of the retirement age from age 60 to age 55 for department heads and managers of the township. So those are the two changes that were presented within the ordinance, and if you have any questions, I'm here to answer them.
Okay.
I have one question, just to clarify, because you made a comment.
Sure.
You had said currently at age 60, so the spousal benefit will now go to the new age at 55.
No, just for the management portion, everyone else is still age 60.
Just age 60.
Okay. All right.
On 4.03, the disability benefits, talks about it being 30% for the average applicable compensation, and then it goes up to 50%. Is that,
Yeah.
explain that a little bit more if you would.
So the 30% is if it's a non-work related injury, so you unfortunately suffer a stroke or something to that extent where you can no longer work, you'd be able to collect that benefit immediately upon retiring from the township. So that provides the employees a 30% pension benefit. The 50% pension benefit is if you get hurt while you're working here and have to unfortunately retire, is where it gets the 50% benefit.
But then when they reach the age of now 55, they would receive 100% of the benefit?
No, so that calculation never changes, because ultimately what happens is that depending on when the act should occur, they could be collecting much earlier than was originally calculated in their pension benefit. So therefore, it stays at that 30% for the remainder of their lives.
So what if they get hurt a month before they retire? Or a year, let's be realistic, a year before their retirement?
Yeah, so there's always the option to go out on a normal retirement. So if an employee should have to retire at age 59 instead of 60, there is an early retirement option within the plan that they could start collecting at 59 their full portion, as opposed to the 30% portion. They could collect their normal retirement benefit at age 59. It would just be reduced because they're collecting it a year earlier. Or if they could make it work, they could actually wait till they turn 60 and then start collecting at age 60 for a full benefit as well. So all those benefits, fortunately, but unfortunately, if it should ever come to it, we would go over those options with the employees and just help them decide which is the best option for them. But this 30% and 50% option is for someone who's much earlier in their career that wouldn't be, that would have to be a supplement for an income, basically, since they're no longer able to work.
Okay.
Okay.
So they do have an option now?
They do, yes.
That's the important part.
There's different options, yes,
All right,
available to
thank
them.
you.
Okay, there's no other questions? Does anybody want to, we discussed this a lot, actually, but,
I'll put this in the form of motion, we accept it as presented.
okay, thank you. Is there a second? Second. Okay, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, any against? Okay. All right, thank you, John.
Great. Thank you very much, John.
Okay, number 8 on the agenda, consideration and public hearing of ordinance amending Chapter 232 zoning, Article 6, overlays and monument display overlay. Do you have this, Mr. Pizzo, or?
Certainly. The township, a number of years ago, created within our sign ordinance a category of sign called monument displays, and adopted an overlay that allowed them at certain locations within the township. That was driven largely by a company that was in the advertising business at the time, who was pitching to not only Bensalem but other communities an idea of these new generation billboards, if you will, that instead of looking like the standard sign on a post plopped next to the road, that these would have a variety of architectural designs. They would be incorporated into architectural structures, things of that nature. And so the township at their behest made changes to the zoning ordinance that would allow for these kinds of monument signs. As council will recall, and as the public may recall, at one point in time, the company that was looking to do this had come into the township pitching a dog park up on Street Road in the Trevose neighborhood of the township that would incorporate not only the dog park, but would incorporate monument signs as well. Regrettably, that has all gone by the wayside in terms of the proposed advertising company, and it would seem the proposal that they came in with as well. And so at this junction, having looked at the way things have evolved, the administration is recommending to the council that the monument sign experiment, if you will, has not been a success, and the administration is recommending to the council that the monument display sign provisions that were added to the sign ordinance several years ago at this juncture be taken out of the sign ordinance. And the ordinance that's before you this evening does just that. The ordinance has been properly advertised and is in an appropriate form for your consideration this evening.
Okay, so this takes it out of those locations. Okay, is there any questions for Mr. Pizzo in reference to this? Okay, is there a motion to accept the change to this ordinance? Do we need public comment on this, Joe?
Yes,
Okay,
it's
I'm
a
sorry.
hearing.
Is there anybody in the public who would like to talk for or against this change in the ordinance? Okay, seeing no one come forward, is there a motion that we approve this ordinance as presented?
So moved.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, any against? Okay, thank you. Okay. Number 9's been removed, number 10's been removed to August 8th, both of them are August 8th. Okay, number 11 on the agenda is an authorization just to advertise an ordinance amending the zoning of the Township Code, R55 Riverfront Revitalization District. We will advertise and address this in one of our August meetings. But this is just a authorization to advertise an ordinance amendment changing, taking out some of the things in the R55 Riverfront District.
I'll put that in form of a motion that we, well, I think, let me see, no, we just have to advertise. Yeah, put it in form of a motion that we do advertise the possibility of considering this ordinance.
Okay. All right. Is there a second on the motion?
I'll second it.
Okay, Stacy, a second. Joe, do we need any comments on this, or we?
No, not for,
Okay.
not for this action. I'll, so the public's aware, what will happen now is council, if council approves the advertising, then the ordinance will be advertised in the Courier Times. A copy will be sent up to the County Planning Commission for their review and comment. There will be a hearing in front of the Township Planning Commission.
Right.
And then it'll come back to you for action.
Okay. All right, so all, we have a first and a second. All in favor of allowing the advertising of this ordinance? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, any against? Okay, it's approved to advertise. Thank you. Okay. Number. Okay, number 12 on the agenda is public comment. Okay, is there anybody that wants to make public comment?
Good afternoon. Dennis McGuire. I live in Ogden Avenue, the Eddington section.
Okay,
I just want to bring some to you guys' attention. It's peaceful and quiet right now as far as traffic goes. When school's out, it's like Interstate 95. School buses flying up the street. I mean, all over the place. I did a little search. The people are starting to use their own signs on the lawn. Drive as if your kids live here. They're putting them on their lawns. So I did a search of Ogden Avenue. No children at play, watch children, nothing. There's one sign, it's about that big, at the beginning of Ogden, that's it. No yellow triangle signs, nothing. No speed limit signs, nothing. So I did a search of the other streets, Finley Avenue and Bowman. No speed limit signs of any kind, none. Now, when the school gets out, they don't want to drive on Bristol Pike because they can only do 15 miles an hour. So they ain't doing 15 mile an hour back here. They're not. I almost got in an accident when they pulled out of my driveway because some guy, who knows what he was doing, flying down the street, and other neighbors were telling me. So Finley Avenue has 3 children's signs that I seen, the big triangles. Bowman has 4, and they're all in one block. So maybe someone knew someone, or maybe they put their own signs up. Maybe they got them somewhere, I don't know. No speed limit signs of any kind. I just want to bring it to your attention. There's
Okay.
a lot of little kids. You guys helped me out before. I had a little tragedy in my family. You guys came through and put signs up where they had to be. I appreciate it.
yeah, we certainly can look into it. We'll have the.
Yeah,
we'll
have somebody look. You'll see. Everything I just told you, you'll see it.
Yeah, we'll have the traffic control guy look.
Yeah,
and make
have
sure.
somebody. I mean, just you got to do something because school's right around the corner.
Yeah, well,
Could you repeat the streets also?
Ogden Avenue.
Ogden Avenue is the big one. That's where I live, and as soon as school gets out, you already know because it's like it's
Okay.
a mad dash. You got to be
So
careful.
there's no speed limit even
Of any
announcing
kind of
speed
any
limit?
street I mentioned, nowhere.
Right, but
Ogden and Bowman, is that what you said? I'm sorry.
Ogden, Bowman, and Finley.
Well, you said Finley had some signs.
It's right
All right,
behind
I got it.
School Lane.
I live on June, and we have no speed limit.
You know.
so I don't think that there's any, and our goes from Street Road down, it's like a race course every
Yeah,
every
well,
night,
see, it's
so-
mainly because of the school, because they're coming out, they're going out the back, even the school buses. School buses are
yeah, but
flying.
they shouldn't be speeding.
You
but,
know, I mean-
We can check and see
Yeah,
where.
get someone to look at it, you'll
where we
see,
can
because
put,
I
watch
hate to see
children's
someone have to
signs.
get tragic knock on their door.
Could you put that either in an email for me or
Yeah.
write it down for me so that I will know exactly what we're looking
Yeah,
for?
yeah, it's all right.
I'll take care of it.
Okay, I appreciate it, guys.
Okay, thanks for coming
Okay.
out, all right? Yes.
Good evening, council. Joe Connolly, 568 Bristol Pike. I'm here about the dirt pile when it's going to be off my
Okay,
property.
I don't know if Quentin's not here, so I don't know if we have, do you have any information on the dirt pile or?
I do. That in anticipation of tonight's meeting, I spoke with Quentin. He couldn't be here tonight because he's at a funeral. But he said he's still diligently trying to find people to take the dirt. And I mean, it's just, I've never seen anything like it. The people, no fill, no one's taking any fill whatsoever in the region. So we're expanding our searches and that sort of thing to try to find someone that will take it. And that's the best I can offer right now.
When I need to get rid of dirt, I call a guy up with a dump truck. He comes, $100 a load, he takes it. I can give him 1,000 loads, he'll take it. There's all kinds of dumps all over the place. And I was here, last time I was here, I mentioned about Gilmore Associates making a fraudulent deed, and I actually brought it.
That
I
is
brought a
nothing,
copy.
that's the county.
No, I understand that, Mr.
Well,
but
if you don't understand it,
Mr. Knowles, listen, they tell me to come here, it's a Bensalem problem. It's like past the block.
No, that's not true.
But I'm just going to tell you, Gilmore did this here, and they got 20 feet here on the paper here.
Okay.
But it's in his deed, he's got 70 feet. Lot number 2, he made a
Okay,
fraudulent
but that's
deed.
not, that's a county.
But that's a fraudulent thing to cover
Well,
up for Bensalem Township. To let Bob Hollander build an illegal building back in '84. Bensalem Township's covering this up. Hey, Mr. Knowles, I got a copy here, an old copy, when the house used to be there. When they knocked it down, it's not there no more. Well, you can clearly see where it is, and now the monument is in the middle of the Bell Telephone Building. They moved it.
If you take it up with the county.
I've been trying to. Mr. Knowles, I spent $250,000.
I understand, I feel.
And I
bad for you
cannot
about
find
it.
an attorney to help me out with this because I'm fighting like a major corruption here. This is major corruption, and they're covering this up.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
I don't think
the
every
dirt
attorney in the
pile,
state of
I wanna-
Pennsylvania is covered.
I started digging the dirt pile out, right? Next thing you know, 5 cops pull up, Quentin, everybody pulls up. When I call, they say, no, it's a civil issue. But when the Indian or the Poppy calls up, then they all come down. But the Irish American, screw
Okay.
him.
All right, well,
No,
okay.
no, it's not right.
All right.
This is not right, what's going on here.
Well, they're doing their best.
And Mr. Knowles, you know
I
how many
think
years
that-
I put up with bogus fines that I
think-
fought?
You didn't pay any of them.
No, I didn't, and I wasn't going to. But the thing was, it cost me $25,000 for Robert Whitney, the attorney
I
who
know.
took my money.
Joe, it's
Robert
the
Whitney.
same thing you say every time.
I'm going
you
to be
come
here
up.
every time and say it.
Okay.
I'm allowed to. I'm a taxpayer.
Well, you are.
I am a taxpayer,
I know,
yes.
You can't just make accusations
Well,
against people.
well, listen, if
There's
I'm
nothing to
telling,
do
if I'm
with
saying
us.
Gilmore made a fraudulent deed,
I don't know.
and Gilmore is very corrupt as a surveyor,
Okay,
and
well then-
Stantec, and they get this video of this year, me saying this, if it was my company, I would sue you. Because I know I'm an honest fella here,
Okay,
you know?
they're-
And Gilmore, I got it right here, I can give you a copy, but I got lot number 2, this survey he did. When I called Gilmore and I asked him what the measurement was on the side of the building, he said, we don't know, we didn't survey that side. How do you subdivide a property in 2, and he didn't survey that side? But he did, because here's the
Joe,
deed.
it's a
Mr.
county,
Knowles,
it's a
Mr.
county
Knowles.
issue, and
I
you
know
know.
it's a county issue, but every time I go to the county,
Yeah.
they tell me come here.
Well, that's,
Could I interrupt for just 1 second? Mr. Connolly, would you, when you're done, give the name of the individual who you say would be able to haul the dirt away to
Yeah,
Mr. Worcester?
absolutely.
Okay, give that contact
He's
information
got
to him.
like 10 different places. They charge me $100 a load is what they charge me.
Okay, please, thank you.
And they'll take concrete, they'll take anything, as long as it ain't wood. You know, I called Remax up, you know, Remax, you work for Remax.
Yeah.
And they're gonna sell my property, but he don't wanna fill out a disclosure form, okay?
Okay.
But then he says, if he has a buyer, and a buyer comes through, but it falls through somehow, how many percentage do you think he's gonna charge me?
I don't-
25% of the sale.
Well,
Would you have signed it?
maybe you should talk to
I
somebody
never
else.
met so many sharks in my entire life.
Okay. All
No,
right,
it's-
so.
it's really-
We're working on the dirt, getting rid of the dirt pile
Yep.
for you.
And maybe
hopefully you can find.
his sign that's on my property and all the water that runs on my property.
And you need
And I
to
was
take-
getting
you need to take
thousands
it
and
up with the-
thousands
you
of
need to
dollars.
take it up
worth
with
of
the- you need to take it up
fines.
with the county.
As an American, I feel really
It's a-
screwed in
it's a-
Bensalem
it's a county-
Township.
it's
I'm
a
trying to
county
get out.
Well, I'm sorry about that, but good luck. I'll see you next meeting. Okay. All right, is there anybody else?
Hey, how's it going? Mike from Oakford. One of your township guys found my buddy's equipment. Just wanted to say thank you so much. We got back to work. Everything went well because he found it and turned into you guys.
Okay, well, I appreciate it, Mike. All
Awesome.
right?
Thank you so much.
So somebody's doing something right, thank you.
And on the positives.
Okay. Found a piece of equipment that belonged to him and turned it to him. Okay, yeah, once you're able to work, we want you to be able to work with your equipment. Is there anybody else, some public comment? Okay, seeing no one come up, we'll close public comment. Okay, other business. Phil, do you have any other business?
No, sir.
Okay. I guess Debbie doesn't, she's not here. Mr. Pizzo, do you have any other business?
No, I do not this evening. Thank you, Mr. Knowles.
Okay, and Mr. Mayor, do you have any business?
I'm looking at you, I want to talk.
Okay, go ahead. It's your time, right?
No, I don't have anything really. The concerts have been going great, so next week I hope we continue to go. No rain.
I think it's the Beatles Wednesday night.
Yeah, it's going to be a big one this week. All of them have been.
Oh, yeah.
They've been really good. So,
The Beatles?
other than that, I don't think we have any holidays coming up. But, no, other than that, that's it.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Benitez, do you have any?
Just hope you had a great 4th and you're enjoying summer. Come see us at the summer concert series. It's a great time. We have food trucks out and really great bands. So thank you to everybody here at the township that pulls that all together to make it a success for everybody. It's very enjoyable.
Okay, Ms. Champion, do you have any?
You want to hear from Mr. Blair? I usually do Mr. Blair next. So I just want to say thank you for everybody coming out. Okay. And my daughter is here for her, one of her scout badges, and she's sitting there to hear all the things. To hear people speak and their issues and to voice their communication skills in terms of letting us know good and maybe not so good. But, so thank you.
Can I ask you a question? Who does she take after? Her mother or father?
Her grandmother. Which I think everybody was afraid of. Yes, and don't forget to come out to the wonderful concerts. I've been to quite a few this summer. I've enjoyed them.
It's nice. Okay, Mr. Clary? Okay, Mr. Clary has nothing? Okay, so, yeah, I would just like to reiterate, the concert series is really nice. I went, did I skip it? Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Kisselback, I'm sorry. You don't have anything? Okay, there's no major holidays coming up, so everybody's good. Now, this week, I actually went to the Elton John tribute band, was very good, and I'm going to make every effort to be at the tribute. Now, you're supposed to call them tribute bands. And the Beatles tribute band, I understand, is very good, so it should be a huge crowd. And it's really nice when you walk around, you see people really, there's like family reunions in Bensalem. People are sitting out there together and having a good time. It's a real great venue, and it's a real nice thing to have in the community. Okay, so is there, somebody want to make a motion to end our meeting here?
So moved.
So move, second. Okay, good night, and we'll be back possibly August 8th. Our next scheduled one is July 25th. We're a little short on agenda items as of now, but we'll definitely be back for our August 8th meeting. Okay, thank you, and have a nice...
Good night, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie.